Hi guys, and welcome to our WrestleMania 39, night 1 review. So yes, I'm here in Bedford with Callum. I've come down to watch WrestleMania 39 with him. So yes, last night we had WrestleMania 39 on night 1. And for the most part, I think we can all agree it was a really good show. Yeah, some really good matches, some really good moments. We're just going to go over the card and see what overall thoughts of night 1, really. So, yeah, what do you think, Callum?
I enjoyed it for the most part. I was pretty tired towards the end, so I was trying to keep myself awake, but the last few matches I thought were amazing, to be honest. So, yeah, didn't start so well, so we'll talk about the start now, I suppose. The first match, I knew it was the first match for a little while. Austin Theory defending his belt against John Cena, the US Championship. This match lasted for 11 minutes, and I don't think there was actually any real notable spots in the match. Theory, besides the ending, really, there was not really any near close falls. That John Cena didn't hit an AA, for example, and the match ended with John Cena going for the attitude adjustment. Had Theory on his shoulders, pushed back into the ref, so the referee took a bump and went down. John Cena had Theory in the STF. Theory tapped out. No referee. Low blow to John Cena. 8-count down. 1, 2, 3. John Cena loses to Austin Theory, which is fine. Yeah. But the match was just not a good opener.
The match I thought was okay, but just not seeing John Cena hit an AA didn't sit right with me. You know, every John Cena match he's just hit at least one AA, and yet if you're trying to make Theory look strong, then he was tapping out. So, and obviously on tomorrow night on Raw, they're all going to be going, "You tapped out, you tapped out." So if this was meant to make Theory look strong, it didn't, because if the ref wasn't down, he would have lost via submission. So yeah, I just found it a bit weird, because I know John Cena, I thought he'd want to put on a really good match to open up WrestleMania, and I think that's the best they could do. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see John Cena again in a few months. Maybe he'll have a match at SummerSlam. I've heard rumours of him and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. That'll be a good match. So yeah, it was okay, but a bit of a disappointing opener. Yeah.
I think if any of the match had started, the starting match is such an important position on the card, starting the end to start and finish, and that one, just for me, it put a sour note on watching the second match as well, which was actually pretty good, because I was just thinking, I thought it was dreadful. And everyone on Twitter hated it as well, like the match. Anyway, so yeah, that's all there is to say about that match. It was pretty crap, in my opinion, anyway, not to everyone. Secondly, after that, we had our men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way, which the Street Profits ended up winning. But it was only an 8.5 minute match.
Quite short, yeah, but very good though.
It was very good, yeah, some good spots.
Yeah, I think all 4 teams delivered. There was a great spot when they were all in the corner, weren't they? And I think a massive, and then Ricochet went poof on top of one of them, and they all went crumbling down. It was great. It was hard to care about the match because there was absolutely nothing on the line, but it was just a fun tag team match, really, wasn't it, to get them on the card? I've actually forgotten who won. Who won?
Street Profits.
Street Profits. Yeah,
it was that. Who did they pin? I think it was it one of the Viking Warriors? I can't remember. I know that Montez Ford did a splash on someone.
No, Ricochet got pinned.
Oh yeah, Ricochet got pinned by Montez. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, from a frog splash. But
it was a good match. Yeah, bit of fun.
It was not bad. It was short, sweet, and it was better than the first match anyway. So
yeah, for sure.
Can't really complain too much about that. Thirdly, we had Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul, and what Wikipedia says, with KSI dressed as a Prime bottle.
Oh.
This match lasted for 16 minutes.
Yeah, this was great. Very good match. Yeah, we all knew Logan and Seth would have a great match. And yeah, they certainly did. 16 minutes, little bit shorter than I thought it would be, considering Logan's match with Roman was like 28 minutes, but again, it's middle of the card, whatever, but it was still a good match. And yeah, they both had obviously hit their moves, and then towards the end, it was the KSI disguised as a Prime bottle. When he took off his mask, he was like, well, the face slot, he was like, And that was great. And obviously the finish of the match, basically, I guess you could say KSI kind of cost Logan, because he was posing with Seth on the table, but then Seth grabbed him and Logan accidentally crashed KSI for the table, and thanks to that big kerfuffle, Seth got Logan back in the ring, curb stomp, 1, 2, 3, and Seth Rollins wins, as he probably should have. Which is, Logan Paul is great. Seth needed to win a bit more, I think, because he's lost his last 3 WrestleManias. But what were your thoughts?
Yeah, the spot with KSI with Logan diving through him was a little bit before the finish. I think Logan did try and pin Seth again and went for a coast to coast, and then it was Seth.
Was it?
Super kick and then stomp. So it didn't directly lead to the end of the match.
I thought it did. All right.
But of course, Logan might have won if KSI hadn't just been standing there waiting for Seth to pull him onto the table. Anyway, but yeah, no, we all went crazy. The neighbours must have been like, "What are they talking about?" Because we were like, "Oh my god, KSI!"
It was so funny.
It was so funny. It was so good. Logan Paul had a Shawn Michaels style entrance coming down on the little zip line to the ring, which is pretty cool as well. But yeah, it was a good match, good spots, good close near falls. Logan hit his big lucky punch at one point and Seth kicked out. I think Logan kicked out of a pedigree as well at one point. But yeah, it was a decent match, good match. And Seth won, which I didn't predict, but expected.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Following on from that match, we had our 6-woman tag between Trish, Lita, Becky, and Damage Control. And that lasted for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good match. I think it was better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie, it probably wasn't that hyped for this match, even though I love Becky, Lita, and Trish, and Bayley's great as well. I just wasn't that hyped for this match. But it was good. I can't lie, it was a very good match. Lita and Trish looked great. Considering they've definitely still got it. That's for sure. Yeah, there was a cool. What was it? Did Lita do a really cool?
She did a Lita Salt on Io Sky and Dakota Kai. They were both down.
Yeah,
that led to the finish of the match, because then Becky had Bayley with the manhandle slam from the middle rope, I think, and then she pinned Bayley 1, 2, 3, and the faces won. As I think was my first part of the night for predictions.
I'm not sure about Bayley getting pinned. So I think she's been pinned enough. Why couldn't they pin like Dakota Kai or something? Like, poor Bayley. I feel a bit bad for her. Whatever though, it was fine, and hopefully this is the end of Damage Control. I think they just need to split up now. Maybe do a big breakup angle on Raw, because it's not really worked, has it, since they've returned, since they formed at SummerSlam. So yeah, and we'll see who Lita and Becky face probably at Backlash.
Probably,
Backlash. Yeah.
And I'm not specifically certain when they get the actual title match opportunity.
Probably be Puerto Rico the next one.
Yeah, probably. And we both predicted the same people, which we'll get to that for tomorrow's review and talk about who wins then. Bayley just hasn't. She lost to Bianca 3 times. She's lost to Becky several times as well during this feud. They lost in War Games. They lost to last night at WrestleMania. They just Damage Control have barely won. Dakota and Io are 2-time tag champs, but
very forgettable reigns.
Yeah, exactly. Most women's tag title reigns are.
Yeah.
And Lita and Becky's probably are going to be as well, because they're not going to ever defend it, I don't think, before they lose them. But yeah, it was nice to see. Lita's one of my all-time favourites. Good to see Trish back, the 3 of them. Big face win. And yeah, I think I cheated at the end, because I was happy that the faces did win, although sad about Damage Control's lack of progress. Our 5th match was, what I was possibly waiting for the most last night. One of the most hyped matches for me, at least. Rey Mysterio versus his son, Dominic Mysterio. Another 14 and almost 15-minute match there as well. So it was. I thought it was a good match, personally. Dominic had a really cool entrance, which didn't make sense because he's not been in prison for about a year. But he was brought in by the police. He had quite a cool kind of, when the door opened, then he had a mask on and had the hood up. I thought that was really cool. Ray came out with Snoop Dogg in one of in his lowrider to the start of Eddie's music for a bit first, and then obviously his own music hit. And then when the ring announcer goes, WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, I was like, so that was really cool. Obviously, Damian Priest and Finn Balor did get involved in the match later, and then also did Legado del Fantasma. They came down and got in the way of them, so then it was 1-on-1 again. Dominic trying to use a chain at the end of the match. And he was stopped by Bad Bunny, who was on the Spanish commentary table. And then Ray hit the 619, hit the splash, and beat Dominic.
Yeah. I'm a bit surprised Ray won. I really thought Dominic would win this. I think a lot of people did predict Dominic. I don't quite get that. I thought Ray would really want to put over, outside of the storyline, outside of kayfabe, he'd really want to put his son over at WrestleMania. I mean, what a bigger stage to do it, I thought. But then he won clean, pretty much. It was outside interference, but that to help make it a more level playing field. But yeah, I'm very surprised Ray won. But I don't think this feud's over. I think there's going to be a rematch at the Puerto Rico show. Maybe a 3-on-3 tag team match or something. We'll see. I don't think the feud's over. I think it's going to continue. But Dominic's young. He's probably still got plenty more WrestleManias to go. Whereas this might be one of Rey Mysterio's last WrestleManias if he might be at WrestleMania 40 next year. Yeah. But Dominic's still got a long career ahead of him. So I don't think it's too damaging a loss. And if they're going to continue the feud, which I think they will, then and it was a really fun match. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, good spots. Ray. Dominic hitting the 619 as well, and a frog splash at one point, and Ray kicked out. Yeah, some good spots. They're both. Well, I mean, Ray is 47, I think he is now, and he's still, he's still doing all the things he can do. Dominic's definitely improving in the ring as well. So, with what it was, father and son match, building up since Clash at the Castle, I thought it was a really good kind of blow off, at least for this part. I did hear a rumor that at the Puerto Rico show, even before Ray and Dominic for WrestleMania was announced, that it would be Ray and Bad Bunny versus Dominic and Damian Priest or something at some show. But so I guess it would make sense really that Bad Bunny got involved last night if that's what the direction they're taking.
That'll be a good match. Yeah.
But it was just nice. I did want Ray to win, obviously, but I ideally for Dominic's future, he would have gone over his dad last night. But it is what it is. I can't complain. Right, the second longest match on the card last night, which wasn't the main event, although technically people thought it may have been, or it was announced, but it wasn't. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and this was, 23.5 minutes.
Yeah, this was definitely one of the matches of the night, for sure. Rhea and Charlotte had an absolute war, didn't they? 23-minute war. It was great. There were so many close near falls. I absolutely loved it. It was a great match. I mean, these two have great chemistry. They had a great match at Mania 36. They had another great singles match at Money in the Bank 2021. So I knew this would be a great match, and it definitely was. It had it all. It had the riptides, the natural selections, the figure eights, and the fact that Charlotte did that amazing moonsault outside on Rhea. I know she's done it loads of times, but it still looks amazing every time she does it. I just loved this match. It was fantastic, and it's really made Rhea look like a big star when she hit that massive riptide at the end off the top rope. Boom! And she finally pinned Charlotte. I was like, yes! It was so satisfying because I think Rhea was 0-2 against Charlotte in singles matches before coming into this. So, boom! She finally got a win over Charlotte, and Charlotte, I think, is happy. She's helped build a new star. Charlotte's been there and done that now. 14-time champion. She takes nothing from losing, and it's Rhea's time now. I think even though she's already been Raw Women's Champion, I think that reign felt a bit flat in 2021. So hopefully now she can have a really good reign 2 years later with that SmackDown belt. And Rhea's now she's a Grand Slam champion. She's a tag team champion, NXT, Raw, and Women and SmackDown now. So she's not more money in the bank, but I guess I don't know if that counts.
No, really, that counts.
But so Rhea's also now only 26 years old. Wow, she's definitely. She's the future, Rhea Ripley, and I loved it. And Triple H said at the end of the match too, that was a fantastic match. And Rhea Ripley, I think said Rhea Ripley's now on the level of Roman Reigns, the next face of the company, face of the women's division. Sure. What do you think, dear boy?
I thought it was good. At the end, after the match, the camera kept panning to Charlotte because she was on the floor. She was smiling, because it kind of reminds me of the whole Sasha and Bianca thing from a few years ago when Sasha was smiling, when she put over Bianca, and it's like, this is kind of like the final passing of the torch. I think I even said last night during the match, like, this feels like a hard hitting passing of the torch match with what it was. And who knows? I mean, Charlotte's not been back for very long, but she might be disappearing again to have children. Possibly Olivia thinks that's what the plan is.
Oh.
So yeah, good match. Glad Rhea won.
Great match.
Should have won. Great match. Yeah. And then satisfying end to it as well to see Charlotte kind of get some spotlight and smile and give it to Rhea and then obviously possibly going off to do other things.
Yeah.
So that we didn't mention at the start, the hosts of WrestleMania were The Miz and then also Snoop Dogg as well. So they came out again after the Rhea Ripley match and Charlotte match and we gave the attendance, which is something like 80,000, even though there's only 75,000 seats in the stadium or something like that. And then The Miz goes, actually, do you know what? I put on my social media for someone to come and answer an open challenge.
Oh.
So, we were going to have a Miz have a match with someone, and I thought, ooh, this is a segment. Who's he going to be? Could it be a legend? Could it be Pat McAfee? His music's hit, and he came out. Obviously, Michael Cole loved that because they're like besties. And Pat McAfee was like, yeah, well, I didn't see that open challenge, Miz, but look, I'm here, so let's have a match. Miz was like, no, I'm the host, so I can't have a match. And Snoop Dogg was like, no, it's fine, I'm a host too, so we've got a ref, get me out the ring and you two can have a match.
Got the ref.
And this was literally like a squash. This was about 3.5 minute match. Obviously an impromptu match. Miz was wrestling in his suit, his, glistening black suit. Pat McAfee came down, kicked his ass, 3.5 minutes, and that was it.
Yeah, I've got nothing to say. This was just why. I mean, they could, like I think you said before, why faff around with this when you could have added a bit more time to Theory and John Cena? It's just, I love Pat McAfee, but I just didn't care. No, didn't care. Yeah, that's all I've got to say, really. That's all.
I forgot to say when we're talking about Dominic and Ray, what really did annoy me was that whole cinnamon toast crunch thingy. It's like around the ring, the advertisement and the ring itself was just like purple and streaks of like yellow and red and blue with like, and there was a cinnamon toast, someone dressed as a cinnamon toast crunch when Ray came out as well. Like that match shouldn't have been saddled with those, like, it's a blood feud between a father and son. It looked like they were doing it at a kid's party with all of those bloody colours that were around the ring.
Yeah.
So that did annoy me a bit about that match, but anyway, I digress.
Bloody sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare they?
And the other was use Ray as well, because they know that he's popular and he's marketable, so they put it on him to
boost sales.
Exactly. So, the main event of Night 1 WrestleMania was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Jimmy and Jay Uso for the Undisputed Tag Team Champions. This was the longest match on the card, not by very long, but it was about 24.5 minutes, this match.
Yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
This was amazing. Yeah. The first tag team main event since WrestleMania 1, I believe.
I think so, but I don't think the tag titles have never been on the line.
Tag team
but yeah, I'm not sure specifically when the last tag team main event would have been.
It was fantastic though. I mean, what a match. We knew this would be great. Usos are fantastic. Kevin and Sami are amazing. And this was just a bloody brilliant match. I absolutely loved every minute of it, and oh my god, there was so many close near falls. Like there were several occasions when I thought, oh no, the Usos are going to retain. No, ah! And then when KO and Sami kept kicking out, all three of us were like, oh my god,
yeah, it was.
Oh my god! And then obviously at the very end, the storytelling was just because this has been a year-long feud of storyline coming into this. Like this is the strongest storyline going into this WrestleMania with Sami and the Bloodline and KO. So it's perfect. And then what was the finish? Jay was in the corner and Sami got the haluva kick 3 times. Then KO pop-up powerbomb on Jimmy, and then her third haluva kick to Jay. 1, 2, 3. And we all went crazy. And new Undisputed Tag Team Champions. The end of the Usos' long but 600-day reign. Oh, what a match! Yes, Sami and KO have done it. They've won gold for the first time together. Oh, and what a journey it is when you think about it. How long they've known each other. El Generico and Kevin Steen on the independent circuit, Ring of Honor, all that, PWG, and now obviously main eventing WrestleMania. Well, I know KO did it last year as well with Stone Cold, but this felt extra special. So, wow, fantastic, and I can't wait to see what happens now tonight with Roman and Cody. So go ahead, boys.
Well, yeah, exactly. we were saying about the close falls. Sami's the first person to kick out of a 1D. Sami got 1D and kicked out. KO got double splashed, kicked out. I'm fairly certain there was a stunner hit. KO hit a stunner, and I think Jay or Jimmy, whichever one hit on, kicked out of the stunner. And then, like I said, it was 2 haluva kicks, and then Jimmy tried to get back in. KO hit him with a stunner, last haluva kick, and then it was the 1, 2, 3, and there was big celebrations, hugs, holding up the titles, and yeah, it was just a great way to end the first night of WrestleMania.
Oh.
So I mean, like we said, the card besides the first match was solid. It was really good.
It was good to amazing.
Good to amazing.
That's all you want for WrestleMania.
Basically, as it progressed, it got better and better. I would say. I think as the night went on. So yeah, I really enjoyed having Adam to sit and watch it, live reactions together. It's been
we were falling
really
asleep
good.
by the end.
Well, yeah, we were.
I'd driven 8 hours to get here.
That's true. Yeah,
bloody traffic. But oh my god, yes. So by Charlotte and Rhea, I was like.
Yeah, I
was like, stay awake.
I had to watch the highlights this morning because I was in and out of kind of both matches. Like I knew what happened in the finish, but there was times I was closing my eyes and I was like, "Ooh, what's going on?" But yeah, hopefully, tonight we have.
Night 2 tonight. Ooh, which I think could be even better. I mean, we've got. We don't talk about the matches. We'll do that in our review tomorrow. But obviously, Roman and KO's the big one. Roman and KO.
Yeah.
Cody. Roman and Cody's the big one. I can't wait for that. What's going to happen? Like,
what happens with
the end of the bloodline, or the end of the bloodline titles. We'll see tonight. Ooh. So yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining me, Callum. And we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow with our Night 2 review. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you all. We'll see you all again very soon.
And we hope you enjoyed Night 1.
And we hope you enjoy Night 2 tonight.
Exactly. See you tomorrow.